Good morning, Lean on Me. Good morning. Good morning, Dawn. Good morning, NH Girl. Lean on Me, Kitty. No lies. No lies. You got some iron. You got iron. Do right by it, please. Good morning, G Dog. Good morning, Rage. So, the stream last night. Shop for me, Bumblebee. I'm blessed. Thank you, beautiful. Very little rest. Just my mind just trying to crank out a detail, or it's like, you know how when you're talking to somebody and you're talking about, let's say for instance a movie actor, and get you just can't get the name out right. It's like there's a detail in there hung up somewhere for me, and I just can't get to it. I can't get to it, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So last night the stream was taken down because I'm an idiot. We won't be playing any more inspirational Kevin Gates songs. Mr. Gates Publishing Company has had enough. Although they allowed me to go in and trim off their stuff and give me my video back. So go order Uber, lovely. I need some answers. I start asking myself, this audio. We know this audio was from the past. Uh, I'm one of those guys where if it's in the past, it doesn't make it any more or less relevant because it's in the past. It doesn't matter if it's one day in the past or 20 years in the past. It's in the past. And we deal with all things in the past. Um, you know, there's a reciprocation, right? We know that you can't change the past, but you want to know what's so powerful about your power in regards to the past? You can change how you feel about the past, and that's oftentimes better than what actually happened if it wasn't tasteful or it didn't jive with your programming, right? So, damn, I hit my heel. Good morning, Awaken. So, I don't have a way of knowing. Actually, I do have a way, and it doesn't matter because the video with the audio that you heard of Chase 423 was a private conversation. It was a private conversation, and it was made public. My issue with that now is this. This is my issue. You had this audio from the past, even if it was 1 minute before. You had it from the past, but we know it wasn't 1 minute before TM, AB, right? We know that. We know that you've had this audio for a considerable amount of time, since about the very beginning. Okay? So, it was months. Yes, they had that audio for months. Why now? Why now? What's the payoff? What's the punchline? Why now? Is it because your channels are starting to slow down because you're just not getting, like, you're giving Jen a platform? Like, seriously? Like the same Jenna that was friends with H's mom? And H's mom's mom has 3 pending child abuse charges on a child under the age of 8 years old. That same Jenna is the one we're giving a platform to now, right? Why, after all this time? Why do people come forward with these things that they have that they think is that, like, to put that out? That is not being helpful to that little girl at all. That is not being helpful to the community at all. It's actually very, very detrimental to the police investigation. Hoo-ah. One Scott. What's up, bub? So you held on to this for months. And I'm assuming because I know all of your MOs. You ran out of content and now you play this. You never sent this to the TBI or the FBI. No. Why? That would be too much like right. Hoo-ah. Hey, Don. That would be too much like right. So I have to ask myself, what is the battle going on between SH and TM and AB and Chase? Like, let me tell you what, AB will never be a part of a legitimate true crime case ever. Never. He will always spectate from Canada because he doesn't even have the balls to do what Cher and Prairie Boy have done. Grab up a case in their own backyard. Hoo-ah? No. This fucker, he's teamed up with a lady that's clandestine in the States that he'll never meet unless he just goes on a Titanic-esque love cabane, whatever, right? Like, dude, you two are feeding into each other like the most toxic set. You guys are like the twins that ran across the highway in the UK, the crazy twins. That's what you are. You two are the crazy twins. You will hurt that little girl to make a point to Chase. Guess what? Chase doesn't give a shit about you. I do. Good job. Good job. Let me tell you what you did. Let me start with what you didn't do first. You weren't helpful in any sort of way by dropping out that information in any fucking stretch of the imagination, right? You weren't helpful. Not helpful. Secondly, you thought that you would try to change the name of my friend Chase into something different than it already is now, but you failed again. So what did you put that out for? For what? Because you don't have any fucking content. And because Jenna was the last ditch effort to have anyone related to this. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. We do know that Doug tried to call Don last night, and Don said, fuck you. Let me tell you what, he'll never talk to any again. Promise you that. Benny is your dad. Don't make me turn this car around. I'll turn this car around, pull you out on the side of the road, put you over my knee. You understand me? All the things you set out to do with this crazy audio that I will let me take that back. I'm not gonna lie to you. I listened to about 10 seconds of that shit. But let me ask you, what part of putting a goatee on Candace's face and all those pictures that were cascading, like, what's the point of that? Like, is it like you have extra time in your life while we're all supposed to be being helpful? You got time to put a goatee on that woman. I've seen your face. You can't even grow a goatee. Oh, you ain't got enough of them hormones that'll push them hairs out your face, homeboy. You got smooth skin like a woman, partner. AB keeps razors in his house for the girls he hopes comes over to shave their legs because he ain't shaving his face for shit. Ooh, manscaping out of the question. He's on a 10-year run. He's running away from the vagina. And let me tell you what. You want to know how TM? You want to know how TM is fucking single? Because she's got a love affair with the Joker from Canada that's selling pot on the internet. Oh yeah, we got Dunkin' Donuts, an exploitative weed dealer. Let me get some pot seeds and send them to fucking Russia if you want to. Why don't you send some fucking money to the fucking to anything other than some pot shit, dude? I smoke pot too. Guess what? It ain't my whole fucking life. Your whole existence is pot. To me, it's something I burn and put up in the air, and I keep it pushing. You done put the weed around your kid. You done put the weed in her bedroom, growing it in her closet. She can't sleep good at night because the light from your weed plants is coming under the door, and she just can't get no good rest because it's all about the weed. You got a drug problem, sir. Have I ever seen someone with a marijuana problem? I thought I had, but I clearly have now. Oh, boy, you have a real drug problem, right? Because you ever seen a meth lab? I never have in real life. I've seen one on TV, but I bet you to make some of that weird shit that you smoke out of that weed, you got to have a fucking chemist set. So you're no different. You're no different. In fact, you're worse because you take the very thing that you think is so acceptable and you force it on people just like a fucking meth head. We don't care about your BC cheese number 2. Who fucking cares, dude? At all. Nobody cares. See, what I'm coming to think that all of that is that's you just fucking advertising online. We know this CBD that you're sending in charcoal packages is not fucking CBD. It's just a matter of time before they come knocking on that wood thing in the front of your house that swings like this. It's got they're gonna come put feet on that motherfucker, right? You people are disgusting. He's in London, Ontario. That's where he is. London, Ontario, where it's okay to keep your kid up at night with your high pressure sodium weed light. We're getting down to the point where I don't even think his mama can stand him. Clearly, there ain't a woman in the land in Canada that can stand his ass because he's trying to soak it inside her over here in the States. What the fuck are you talking about? Right? And what the fuck are you doing, bro? Right? You know what? Like, I don't wish abduction on nobody, but it would be interesting to see. It would be interesting to see AB make a full turnaround when his child would be missing. Ooh-ah. Like, for real, bro. Like, for real. I mean, I can't even, like, what the fuck is it you're doing with your life? I heard you bought a new truck, but let me tell you what, it isn't from the exorbitant amount of pot you grow. It's from the exorbitant amount of money that you make from YouTube bashing people that are in the middle of a crisis. He sounds so pussified defending. He is pussified. Oh, guess what? It's been so long since he's been with a woman. He thought, fuck it, I'm just going to turn into one. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Right? Let me tell you what. I told Don I was pissed at him the other day. for going on fucking around with all them other people online, dumbasses and fucking. That's cute, Josh. The lab. Again, get yourself some lab work. Because I think you got a chemical imbalance fucking around with your co partner that you got. Let me tell you what, when you pick a co partner, a co pilot in life, a friend, you want to make sure that it's somebody that when you take your hands off the fucking wheel ain't going to run it into the fucking ground. Ain't that right, Doug? Ain't that right, Doug? Doug is out here sexually harassing people, and now, it's been a report made. Ooh, ah. See, people want to do everything in the extreme, right? Look at what AB does online. It is extremist behavior. Look at anything he does in his life concerning the marijuana. It is extremist behavior. Some kind of way, just putting fire to the shit after you take it off the tree ain't enough. We gotta hit it with what is it? Butane. Tell me what we gotta hit it with, chemist Scott. What do we gotta put this? What kind of treatment we gotta put this weed through to get what the fuck it is you need to sell? You a chemist? You a cook? Stands to reason. You're fucking around with the chemicals in the house, playing with the weed. You know how to fuck around and play with them chemicals on other shit too. So let me tell you what. The other day, I was just fucking disgusted with the way that I saw No Thanks operate, and I said, "This enough is enough." So let me tell you what. What's the old adage? The old what is it? Cock blocker. I just cock blocked the shit out of you two. You two will only ever hear Don Wells's voice again unless it's on this channel or the fucking channel that Dr. Phil is on. Ooh. You can call him again 37,000 times a day and he's going to tell you the same thing. Fuck you. Fuck yourself. I cock blocked you. I told the man. It's very hard to be supportive of you, Don. I know what you're doing, and I love you for trying to do it. Don's trying to troll the trolls. But right now, we don't need Don to think about that. We need Don to think about simple country living, reunification with his children, grieving, keeping food and meat and biscuits on the table, and moving on with your life, not getting stuck here. We are in the distraction stage. Yes, we are. And we have true demons, true, real demons. They hide behind a mask right here. They fucking hide. Let me tell you what else hides: frogs, lizards, snakes, salamanders, right? Raccoons. The only thing that fucking hides in this world is a varmint, is a rodent, is a reptile. It is something that we have engineered traps over the last couple of 100 years that are very efficient in snapping necks. He will never be on Ziggy's again. Period. They will not be on Ziggy's again. I assure you. I assure you. And that if he does, he's going to have to deal with me. I asked Don to make a deal with me. And for me to keep going through what I've been through and what I'm doing, I don't need the views from Don. I like to be able to show true supporters what it's like and what it's looking like. But I can't continue to undo what everyone else keeps doing. Listen, if you don't have fucking something nice to say, just shut your mouth. Go find somebody in your real life that you can physically touch. Tell them some old crazy shit like that. Quit coming here and telling folks what you're gonna do and you ain't doing shit. You're doing less than shit. You are tying up our time, and guess what? You're tying up the free space in YouTube that we need to use to house our videos. Then you got 411 guy who he's doing shit like talking shit about Chase just so he can drag him out of the fold so that later on 411 can fucking apologize and get some extra views because it takes him 6 weeks to get 42 views on any of this shit that he's doing. He does whatever choice of drugs he does, which I'm assuming you don't do a stimulant and fall asleep online. So this gentleman, he can't even stay the fuck awake online, but he's going to monetize and merchandise this little girl, and he's going to handle your money, and then he's going to try to get that fucking piece of merchandise into a bag with your address, get it stamped, and get it sent out. That's too much for somebody that falls asleep online due to the virtue of the chemical enhancement of opioids. Fuck you mean? Boy, get your shit together. Feed your kids before you come online trying to take money for somebody else's kid. You can't even stay awake to follow the directions or accept the money that people want to send you. You're busy doing this online. Then you sleep until the fucking restream shuts off. You get up, or somebody comes over and gives you some Narcan, and then you come to, you erase the fucking live, and then you start all over again. Sounds like there ain't enough fucking Narcan for you, my friend. We need to get you hooked up, stacked. And with this thing you got going through here in the middle of your head, boy, I don't know what it is. It seems like it's the landing strip for a beer bottle. Like X marks the spot. Boy, BTS Mike, you still ain't shit. BTS Mike tried to garner $3,000 from Chase 423 because he said his mom was dead. He tried to take a loan, and they were going to hit him with 10.3%, and it still wasn't going to be enough to bury mom. So let me tell you what happened. I'm just running down through it again. I called the fucking Warwick, New York police, sent a fucking wellness check over there to check on BTS mom. She was there. She was alive. The next morning when I knew that fucking Mike would be all heroined up and still able to sleep and not sick yet, I called his mom on the phone and I said, "Are you okay?" And boy, oh boy, did she tell me the biz. So guess what fucking Mike did? And you can ask Honest Rage. Fucking Mike made a new channel called Ben Jammin' in my name. And he's going around still trying to solicit fucking funds for his alive mother who he says is dead. Meanwhile, he keeps spewing the same information. Oh, I just tried to go get a loan and it's for 10.3%. It's just not gonna be enough. You fucking people on here, man. Holy shit. I've never met so many terminally ill people, so many fucked up people, so many people that will start putting other people in other fucking financial binds. Let me tell you what. Never in my you want to know why I don't put my fucking Cash App out there? Because it's people like Chip that will do whatever the fuck they can in order to get your banking information and put it on a fundraiser that is illicit, that is illegal, that is going to get you in Club Fed. This bitch, motherfucker, I wish you would get my banking information and try to set it up for some old fuck shit, because I'm not with it. I ain't with that shit. Oh no, thanks, bro. Start doing some morning streams because we know it takes about 12 fucking hours of enhancements in order for you to get Prime to come on here and do your business. this armed robbery.
There, sorry. Can you hear me? All right. Let me tell you a story about Doug. Doug met a girl in Moore Park, California. Hadn't been with a woman in a long time. So he meets a girl in Moore Park, California. You can ask AV Watchman, you can ask anybody about it, okay? So Doug meets a girl in Moore Park. Let me tell you what he does to the girl in Moore Park. He beats the cowboy shit out of her. And then when she goes to call the police, he beats himself up. This is a fact. Let me tell you what he did on the Orrin and Orson West case. He went over in front of a witness's house. His wife was pregnant. And he started cutting up all on them drugs. So the pregnant wife called the police. Meanwhile, the husband pulls up because he's got the camera on his phone. And he immediately goes after Doug. Doug is just running like a fucking just a piece of paper in the wind. Doug then runs back to his van house and cuts himself with a knife. So that when the police get there, they can try to charge the person who Doug infracted against. Didn't happen that way. They took Doug's bleeding ass to the fucking jail. If I'm lying, I'm crying and I ain't shed a tear. This is the same guy, right? This is the same guy that when he first moved into his new place, he took a community post with his shitty computer and his broke down laptop there. And he said, "A day full of writing mortgages." Let me tell you what happened. Doug was trying to hang out with some people during his meth days. And he met a guy. And this guy in the drug world was who Doug wanted to be. I mean, it's like Breaking Bad. Everybody wants to be on Showtime, right? So to be, Doug had to do the bitch work. Let me tell you what Doug was doing. They were selling drugs. And Doug held the pistol. Doug was dumb enough to hold the pistol. So they get in trouble. Yeah, this is who CM hangs with. Doug gets in trouble. And he did the right thing. I mean, the complete right thing was to have not been in that situation. So they get in trouble with the police, with the drugs, and the gun that Doug has. Doug, this man that Doug had such an affinity for, was a neo-Nazi already and a meth cook. Doug, you see me here reciting this story just like you told me, and I don't have no problem. So they get pulled over. Doug, with the gun, takes the fucking meth charge, or the gun charge. Takes the gun charge. Mind you, before he went to prison, he was already messing with the neo-Nazi gang. He takes the gun charge, boom, straight to Pasco. No crossing go, no collecting $200, straight to Pasco. Where now he had his initiation in to the 1488 neo-Nazi group. So for 3 years, Doug lived under the thumb of the neo-Nazi. But let me tell you what even more shocking about Doug. Has anyone seen the 1488 on the back of his legs? Don't you know when you're in the joint and you're a part of that sort of thing, there are no unfinished stamps. That's a stamp. They don't let you make it out with an unfinished stamp. That fucker is done. They sit down one time and they finish it. Doug's shit's not finished. Right? So you could even moderately to mildly say they didn't even fucking want him. They seen his substance and they were like, let's put half of a neo-Nazi Jew-hating tattoo on the back of his legs and we'll just leave him half done because that tells everybody else he wasn't good for the ride. When you see a man in prison and he doesn't have a fully finished neo-Nazi stamp flag, he didn't make the cut. Let me tell you what they usually do when you cross the gang in prison. They take their razor and they take it apart and they take just the fucking and they cut them tattoos off the back of your legs. So my contention is Doug didn't even get that. He didn't get that tattoo in prison. He got that tattoo on the outside where he had a choice to not finish the tattoo. Doug made a conscious decision to not finish the neo-Nazi tattoo. No, but wait, Doug doesn't tattoo the back of his own legs. Somebody else said you're not worthy. You see this half-done neo-Nazi tattoo on the back of your legs? That means you're not fucking welcome here. That means you can't go mess with the blacks, the Mexicans, or come back and fuck with us Woods. It ain't happening. You're out of there. So then Doug's got to do the rest of that time in SEG. Moving forward. Doug makes about $5,000 a month on YouTube. Doug won't even donate good quality fucking time to this case. Guess why? Because Doug has 2 kids that he can't see whenever the fuck he wants to. So he thinks it's probably best case scenario for someone else to feel the same thing he can and for Doug to have fucking control over it, right? Doug thinks with all this crazy shit, he can keep the kid away, right? Now Doug wants to help. He wants to help Donnie. He wants to help Candy. Motherfucker, help yourself. Help your kids. AB, I fear for your child having a nasty, nasty male role model like you in its life. And I say it because if it stays underneath of your house for the duration, it's ruined. It's going to be just like you or worse. Do you know, AB, that they say if you got daughters in your future, you got demons in your past? You got me fucked up, homeboy. Your life is in a fucking downward spiral. You are begging for a plateau of any semblance of normal. Doug thinks he's a comedian. Let me tell you the difference between Doug and comedians. Comedians go on stage and they get paid and they have access to many beautiful women. So, she's coming home. She's coming home. She's coming home. You see Scott H, he won't even hardly mention me, right? Why is that, bro? I see you talking shit to all these women out here. Talk shit to me. Oh, no, you're right, NH girl. See, this is the deal. Doug's dad worked for the Ventura County Sheriffs for 30 years. He says. CM also tells people he's got 40 years of law enforcement experience. He does not. He's got 20 and then some change in consulting, right? So right? So Doug feels very comfortable in the clutches of CM. It's almost like being at home. It's almost like having a dad in CM that Doug doesn't have in real life, because let me tell you what, Doug's dad won't even let Doug sleep in the fucking house when he was homeless. Doug had to sleep in a fucking travel trailer in the backyard, and he couldn't smoke in it, he couldn't have his dog in it, couldn't even shit in it, had to shit outside. She's coming home, and it's not going to have anything to do with your help. Yes, Nisi, he does think he's a daddy. He needs a daddy, and he's found that in CM. And guess what? CM's the worst kind of daddy. Can we start to maybe start painting a picture of what CM's son's life may have been like? I don't know. And I don't know anything about that scenario. But because CM lost his son, I gotta guess that it was in a way that was unsavory. It was in a way that maybe you potentially feel guilty and feel you could have changed the outcome. Oh, CM is totally a cocaine cop. You can see it on him, right? He used to ride the beach, Baywatch style, looking at all the girls, and then he'd duck his head down, drive some more, like, man, you got me fucked up. Yeah, Doug certainly has made a lot of super bad choices and still continues to do so. I am convinced Doug enjoys the pain he daily creates for others. He does. And let me tell you why. Because misery loves company. We know that, right? Misery just isn't fucking complete unless you have company. Unless you have someone sitting next to you on the plane ride to hell, it is going to be a very unfortunate trip, isn't it? You got to make sure you got somebody strapped right next to you, huh, Doug? Doug doesn't want to drown alone, nor does AB. That's why they're back supporting each other, right? Here's Doug and AB. Just fucking scissoring. Let's just take Tiffany Marie out of the, because Doug don't want her. I mean, nobody wants her. Not even a guy with a moniker face online wants her. Hoo-ah. Super Glue is going to be the sponsor today. Guess what? AB is going to get himself in real trouble. AB said about 8 months ago, he said, Benny Keys, I'm going to bait you into a jail cell. That's what he said. Yeah, Super Glue. Yes, only hurt people hurt people. That's right. How many people have you seen Don come online and hurt? I'll wait. Super Glue. Granny ain't doing none of that shit. Granny ain't doing none of that shit. These people are fucking liars. Do you think Granny would come back from Wisconsin to Tennessee? If she had something to do with that shit, she was already out the clutch. She was out the cut. She was gone. Where was she at? Fucking anywhere. And the police let her do it too, didn't they? Mm-hmm. It's not what you think you know, it's what you can prove. And to even be able to prove something in the court of YouTube, you got to know what the fucking law is. These people don't even know the law. You got Tiffany Marie recording conversations in Connecticut. She don't even know if it's a one-party or a two-party state. Because if she knew that Connecticut was considered a one- and two-party state, she wouldn't have done that. And so now it's being put together, right? I can, Brenda. Yeah, I like Gorilla Glue is good, Captain Obvious. It is. Have you had the Gorilla Glue number 11? I just had that recently. I've had 1 and 4 and 2. I just had 11 and it was pretty good. Yeah, no, she's here. She's here. It's that super glue. This super glue is just, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's with my chemistry. There's a few with my chemistry that work really, really well. And anytime the super glue comes around, like I want the super glue. Good morning, Captain Obvious. Glad to see you here, my friend. Glad to see you here. If you guys aren't subscribed to Mr. Obvious, please go subscribe to his channel. He's got a cool channel. He's a very spiritual cat. And you know, he's it's some of us walking on 2 legs ain't got as much hope as Mr. Captain Obvious. Currently picking your seeds for next year. Nice. Look at that. Captain Obvious lives life in a wheelchair, guys. And he's one of the most positive people. I go to Captain Obvious just to get my hope. Some days I got to look at Captain Obvious's handsome face in order to make it through the fucking morning. Because I got to go to the people that give me the hope. And guess what, man? There just isn't a bunch of people in my real life standing there. A lot of people don't understand why I do it. They're like, Benny, I can't support it because I don't understand. It wasn't until I think the other day, 2 days ago, there was a little boy in Houston. I'm not going to talk about how he perished, but he perished. And they put him on a bed in a bedroom. There was 3 other kids. They were forced to live with this decomposing kid that was their brother in the same house. In fact, the parents up and moved to another location and left the 3 kids with the decomposed boy on the bed. You gotta be kidding me. Those are the people that we trash and make fun of, AB, Doug. Those are those people. Make fun of those people, Doug. We don't make fun of these people. We don't do that, Doug. No, no, no. No, no, no. We make fun of people like Jeffrey Dahmer. We make fun of people like Ted Bundy. We make fun of people like you. You are the victim of no crime, sir. And let me tell you what. You see this guy get all spun up on whatever it is he sniffs, smokes, or drinks. And then he wants to fight every person in the world that's not in California. Bro, you have to peel yourself away from that fucking studio bedroom you got in order to fight an addiction, let alone come to fucking Texas and fight me or Griff or fucking anybody. Fight your addiction, sir. Beat the shit out of your addiction, and then I might be worried about you because all I got to do is spill some vodka on the ground and straight to the fucking pavement Doug's mouth will go. Straight to the pavement. It's like you want to see a crackhead get on all fours? Throw some fucking crack on the ground and they will get on all fucking fours. You want to see Doug fucking French kiss pavement? Pour some vodka on the floor. Dude. Sad thing is you have a dog. We see how you treat human beings in poor Winston. Poor Winston. I'm sorry, Blue. I'm really sorry. It's my way of supporting. It's my way of supporting the armed services. I have family that were in the services. You know what? Let me tell you what, NH girl. Oh, it's corn liquor, Jan. Straight fucking corn liquor. Let me tell you something. When I worked on the Orrin and Orson West case with Doug, let me tell you what. I was really revered by the way Doug handled himself. He was living in his van. He had very, very limited resources. He was using the restroom at 24-hour fitnesses. He was showering at 24-hour fitnesses. You know, he would go out and search, and then with no money, he would run out of gas or be low on gas. And so he had to be very careful of where he went next until he got donations. Doug's been saying for 7 months now he's waiting on a job at Amazon. But he had to get rid of the trouble that happened to him when he was in front of the pregnant woman's house where he cut himself. He has to get through that before he can go to Amazon. Let me tell you what. Doug's supposed to pay an exorbitant amount of child support. But Doug has his finances arranged in a way that as soon as YouTube check hits, it gets moved over to one account, and then he moves it over somewhere where it's all cash. Doug don't put no money in the bank because he's ordered to pay child support on 2 kids, and what he's waiting on is for the 2 boys to turn 18 so that all he's got to pay on is arrearages. And that's right, Captain Obvious. And Amazon is begging for workers. But no, they don't want neo-Nazi 1488 people. Like, guess what? At Amazon, you're allowed to wear shorts. And there's going to be a melting pot of people there, Doug. So no, you're not fucking welcome anywhere in the real world except for your fucking bedroom where no one can see your legs. Guess what, Doug? I wish I could take your fucking legs and give them to Captain Obvious because he deserves your fucking legs more than you do. He deserves your legs more than you do because you use your fucking legs only to walk into the liquor store. Captain Obvious would fucking use your legs to change his life, my friend. No, we ain't friends, we ain't buddies, and we damn sure ain't partners. Yes, Mr. Captain Obvious is the fine gentleman in the wheelchair, yes. Captain Obvious is Benny. I am a woman and I have legs. LOL. You're thinking of me. Positive. Okay. I'm thinking of Mr. Obvious then. I'm sorry. Gotcha. Mr. Obvious. Well, when he comes back around, I'm going to make... This is for Mr. Obvious. Mr. Positive. Yes, Mr. Positive. I'm so sorry. He is... I'm sorry. So anyways, still stands. Right? Isn't there something about a victim that we can just see on their face? We don't have to be told that they're going through some stuff, right? We can see it on their face. We can also see the people that we can't see that on their face. What we can see is the symptoms that should be on their face, right? But to cover it with alcohol They cover it with pills and powders, uppers and downers and sideways and right through a loop. And I apologize this morning. Mr. Positive. Yeah. You can see victim all over them, man. Let me ask you. Did you ever look at anybody in the news that's been convicted guilty of a high profile crime? You see victim on any of them people? That's not to say that person didn't start a victim, but end up a monster. See? That's what happens. When you've been victimized and you don't get the help you need, you start taking in substances, you start taking in all the negative, the evil from the world, and you magnify it and you compound it inside of you, and then you let it loose and you're a fucking monster. Not the good kind. You know, most people when they go to prison, they find Jesus. Doug found neo-Nazism. See, when you put shit like that on the back of your legs, you're not bringing that time to the front door. You're sneaking out the back. Because you can't go in there and stand on your own fucking two. So what you got to do is stand next to a bunch of other pussies that ain't strong enough to stand on their own two, and you sneak that time right out the fucking back door. Real men take their time through the front. You understand me? They bring that time on their back every day straight to the fucking door. The first day, the last day, and everything in between. They don't sneak around with no fucking 1488 and bring that time to the side door, the back door. They don't tell on people to get their time shaved off. None of that shit. Let me tell you what, there's just no way you can come back and be in this fucking community as an alcoholic. We've even seen people with, a slew of different background choices, but you can't be a racist and be here. You cannot be a racist and be here. Let me tell you why. Because there's no room for your brand of hate. We see the extremism in your hate. We see the extremism in the back of your legs. We see the extremism in you when you do what you did to Griff. You had the opportunity in Griff to have an even better guy around you than me. And you fucked that one off too. See, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's a bunch of these people here that can't come here and do their fucking business unless they're enlightened. Who are? Let me tell you what, man, I smoke a little weed and it kills all the crazy pain I have. I smoke just to feel like you guys, just to get to a baseline and be normal, where I can laugh and it doesn't, like right now I'm in pain because I haven't smoked yet. There's nothing medicinal about alcohol or meth or any of that stuff. There's nothing medicinal about it. G-Dog, there's no defending anything against, I'm not even going to say her name. Because I say her moniker online and then she likes to come in and try to just tie me up. Blue Diamond says she joined the military for the Wells and everyone else, for their constitutional rights, for the right to be proven innocent before guilt. That's why she went to the war. She went to the war to come over and fight for justice and freedom, because we know you can give a silly man freedom, but without a smart man and justice standing next to him, what you have is anarchy. So we can't be the greatest, most free country in the world without having some of the strictest laws about the most important shit. But let me tell you what, it's not against the law to be a bad guy. It's not against the law to be a piece of shit. So yeah, things are going to change on the YouTube streets. I'm sorry it took this fucking long, but you know, you get your guts full, right? You keep going and you go and you go and you go and you go. And then, you know, your guts are getting filled and you belch and you make a little room, and then your guts just get filled. You can't undo your pants no more. You can't take your belt off, like your guts are full, and it's got to come up. Only way out, up. We are tired, Doug. We are tired, ABCD. We are tired, TM. We are tired, CM. Mara, no, I don't need you to come over here and tell me what my mods are doing. They know their job. You don't need to tell. I don't need you to tell me how they're performing. If you're complaining about someone being blocked, it's because you're in here doing the wrong shit. That's what. Enough about that. Yeah. Guess what? You couldn't trick people to go to hell unless the road to it was paved in gold. Hoo-ah. Oh, if the trail to hell, or if the trail to heaven looked as sweet as the trail to hell, everyone would go to heaven. Heaven would be overfilled. Oh shit, man, I'm through, man. I gotta get on with my day, man. I love all of y'all, man. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Find somebody today. Make love, not war. I don't mean sex. Make love, not war. And if you can't make love, don't be afraid to fucking tell somebody no. Tell them no. I'm sorry, criminality. You're not allowed here. You got to beat it. I hope you have a good day. But you're not wanted here, nor will you ever be wanted here with the things you did to me, madam. Anyways, everyone, have a great day. I love all of you. Guess what, guys? She's coming home. I'm not apologizing to Chip about shit. No. Unwanted spam, your comment was. Love you guys, man. She's coming home.